Now for lesson 4.3, problem 3, which reads, an article reported the estimated percentage of U.S. households with only wireless phone service, no landline, for the 50 states and the District of Columbia. In the accompanying data table, each state was also classified into one of three geographical regions: West, capital W, Mid states, capital M, and East states, capital E. Now, what we want to do is look to see what we're asked. We're asked to look at the three box plots for each, for M, W, and East, and we're to compare them, find which is the one that best fits, and then we want to know the median 4 is lower than the median for other two regions. So we'll get the data, write it down, and we can then answer these questions down here. So anyway, let's start. First thing we need to do is we need to use salt. And I'll stop my share and then share again and pick up the screen that has the latest. Now, what we want to do is we want to break this up so that we can find Q1, Q2, and Q3, the min, and the max for each one of the regions. So how are we going to do that? Well, if you go over here to regions, you see this down triangle, click on it, and we'll select a filter. Equal to. Well, the first one we're going to equal to is capital W. So we're going to look at the Western states first. So we're allowed to add a filter. Now, when I do the descriptive statistics, it's going to be for the Western states only. Do you see this region, the Western states? So we've got it loaded right. We'll do this descriptive statistics for the Western states. The mean is 47. I'm going to write this down for each one of these. 47.0846 is the mean. Q1 for the Western states is 41.8, so copy that down. 41.8. Okay. And Q2, or the median, is 48.3. So I'll write that down, 48.3. And Q3 for the Western states is 51.15. 51.15. And the max is 56.1. 56.1. And the mean, the medium, the minimum, excuse me, is 38.4. I'll put that in, 38.4. I'm just filling this out, and then I'll go to that camera and we'll do some calculations with these results. So as you see, we're just going from one region to another. So let's go back to the data set. And now we want the region to be east. Okay. So east filter, and you see I've got all the east here. Just to make sure, I'm going to go and I'm going to share that particular screen with you to make sure you see it. Okay, so you can see that I've got all the east region. Okay, so I do the descriptive statistics. The mean is 37.6. 37.6. The minimum is 25.2. 25.2. Q1 is 31.2. 31.2. 31.2. And the median is 37.2. That's Q sub 2. 37.2. And Q3 is 45.7. 45.7. And the max is 49.8. Is 49.8. Okay. Now for M. Go back to the data set. We'll set our filter to M. We have the filter. And you see I've got, well, let me stop to share and come back and share. Make sure that you're seeing it. So you see that I have all the M's listed here. And so I go to descriptive statistics, and the mean is 47.9263. So we'll write that down. 47.9263. Okay, the minimum is 40.8. 40.8. Q1 is 43.6. 43.6. Q2 is the median, which is 47.2. 47.3. Q3 is 51.6. 51.6. And the max is 56.1. 56.1. Now, so you can see all that, and I'll do some calculations here, and then we'll go back to the problem and answer the questions that were to answer. So I'll get out of here, and I'll go to the document camera where I put all the information down. And so now you see, I wrote all the information on this sheet so that we can do. Now, the first thing we need to do is to find the interquartile relation, or interquartile range, interquartile range for each one of these. So the first one is Q3 minus Q1. And for that, Q3 is 51.15 minus Q1, and Q1 is 41.8. 41.8. And we've got our trusty little calculator here. And I'll put in 51.15 minus 41.8, right? 41.8. And that gives me 9.35. So this is 9.35. Now for this one, we'll do the same thing. We'll go Q3, which is 45.7 minus Q1, which is 31.2. 31.2. And 45.7 minus 31.2. This is 14.5. So this is 14.5. And down here, this is the last one we'll do, is the inner quartile range is Q3, which is 56.6, right? We have 56.6 minus Q1, which is 43.6. 43.6. And when we put that in a trusty little calculator, we have 43.6 inner. We have exactly 13. So this comes out to be 13. So now I think we have all of the calculations that we need in order to answer the questions in problem 3. So let's go back to problem 3. And we're first of all asked to find what graph here actually demonstrates the data in which we had. And it's this one right here. And I think I'll show you on, we had for the West, let's do the West first because that's what we had. That's first. We had the minimum for the West was 38.4. It's about here. 38.4, that's right. Q1 for the West was 48.3. Q1 was 41.8, excuse me. 41.8, which is down here. And the Q2 for the West was 51.15. Oh, Q2, excuse me, for the West was 48.3, and that's about 48.3. So you can see, you can look at each one of these and go over here, and this is the box plots that represent each one of the West, the East, and the middle. And so that's that there. Now, you can see this up here. I'm just reading the data over there. The median for, well, the median for the East, that's is 37.2. And the median for the West was 48.3, and the median for M was 47.2. So the one that's the least is for the East. So we would select East here. East region is lower than the medians for the other two. That's true. And the quartile range. Okay, now let's look at the quartile range. The quartile range is over here. So the quartile range for the West was 9.38. I don't know if you can read that. And the one for the East was 14.5. And the one for the middle was 13. So the one for the east is larger than the other two. The distribution, the mid-states region, okay, the mid-state region is the M, okay. And for that, we had a median of 47.1, and we had a mean, here's a mean, of 47.9263, which is, the mean is slightly larger than the median. So we would say that it is slightly skewed, positively skewed, because the mean is greater than the median, okay? Slightly positively skewed. Okay, so that's the problem. And we just use our salt to get the values, and then we just compared them. And so